there, did you watch my last video? I ended it with something motivational, but this time I want to start it with something motivational. Have you ever heard the term, when one door closes, another one opens? I mean, it's such a popular phrase, I'm sure you've heard of it, but a lot of times we follow things and listen to things, and how do we really feel? I want you to go test your door and come back and write in the comments if that door opens. Because for me, when one door closes, I'm bold. I'll go back and open that door. You may knock, or you can be bold and open that door. So for me, that phrase is, when one door closes, you open back the door. As of today, there's just one vote that can help to determine if this stimulus bill passes or not. And this is going to weigh heavily in the hands of Senator Joseph Manchin. So you want to pay attention to this person right now, because he's been dubbed as the most powerful person in Congress, because he does have the swing vote that will either sway to the left and let it not pass, or sway to the right and they can get that passed. And so he's a person that you really want to smooch up to right now to have that passed. He has been very silent for about a week, right? And now he's come forth and basically said that he is not going to back a bill that breaks the rules of the Senate. Now, those are my words, and that's the interpretation, but I'm going to play a clip for you that will clarify. Now, you do want to listen to what he has to say, because remember, he has the power of that swing vote that is going to determine if we pass the stimulus bill or not. Let's take a listen, and I'll dissect it for you when he's done.
Okay, so you've given some mixed messages on whether you support sending $2,000 checks to Americans who earn $75,000 or less. Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, as well as your new Senate colleagues, Ossoff and Warnock,
Sure,
all support sending these larger checks. Are you on board, yes or no?
Jake, that's not a yes or no question. I'm on board by helping people that need help, people that really can't make it, people that don't have a job, they can't put food on their table. I'm in total support of helping them. Sending checks to people that basically already have a check and aren't going to be able to spend that, or not going to spend it, usually are putting it in their savings account right now. That's not who we are. That we have done an awful lot of that. It's time now to target where the money goes. Make sure the people in need. I have people in West Virginia that can't go back to work because there's not a job to go to. Mm-hmm. I have businesses that can't open up. Don't you think we should be helping them first? And you know, Jake, we're talking about everything else. Why can't we just do something that basically puts people back to work? Infrastructure. If you want to spend $2 or $3 trillion, invest it in infrastructure. FDR did it in the 32, and basically we saw WPA and CCC. I've played ball and gone to schools to where that was built back in the 30s.
Okay.
There's a lot we can do to put people back to work.
So yes on a big infrastructure bill, no on the $2,000 checks because they're not targeted enough. I only have a minute left, so I just want to do
if they're targeted, no. If they're targeted, if they're targeted, I am all for targeting money.
But not just anybody who makes under $75,000.
Not carte blanche across the board.
It's tough getting a sense.
He's explicitly said that he will not back a bill that is going to put monies into the hands of taxpayers who are going to deposit these monies in their bank accounts. Now, I'm not so sure of the circle of people that he's surrounded by or where he's getting his information from, but even before the pandemic, Americans were highly in credit card debts and other debts. You know, that's what runs this country. Even if people are going to put this into their savings accounts, it's only there as a means of how to collect the money, or if it doesn't go towards buying food, I'm sure it's going to go towards medical bills. This is America, and medical bills are a real thing here. Let me re-emphasize, the current stimulus targets are $100,000 for single tax filers, that's the cutoff, and the cutoff for those who filing jointly, the maximum that they can earn to still qualify for the stimulus checks is $200,000 worth of income. Remember, we have to pay keen attention to whatever it is that he has to say. We have to follow him closely now to find out what's going to happen. You know, I'm very particular on the timeline as to when is this going to happen. Now, remember the process. This has to pass the House of Representatives, which they expect to do that sometime in a few days, maybe February 22nd to the 23rd, sometime around there. Now, after it passes the House of Representatives, then it goes to the Senate. Then the next likely step is for it to go to the Senate parliamentarian. And this is where Senator Joseph Manchin is saying, listen, I'm going to wait for it to come to this stage. And whatever the Senate parliamentarian says, that is what I'm going to vote for. Now, the role of the Senate parliamentarian is basically to review it, to dissect it, to examine it. They can decide, yes, we like the bill. No, maybe so. However, if they vote favorably for the bill, it is going to be advanced to the Senate floor, where every senator has an opportunity to review it and debate the legislation. The timeline that we're looking at for that is around the first week of April, again, which is when it's going to coincide with the end of tax season, and the IRS is going to be having that influx of tax returns that they have to prepare. And in a statement that the IRS put out today, they do not intend on extending this year's tax season beyond April 15. Again, they are not going to extend the tax deadline this year as of today. I just did this graph just to give you an idea of the timeline, what is expected, and after it goes back to the Senate floor. Now, because they're using the budget reconciliation, if the parliamentarian comes back and says, we don't like this bill, the Democrats have all the power and the votes they need to override whatever it is that the parliamentarian says. So even though Joe Manchin is saying he is going to vote in favor of whatever the parliamentarian's verdict is, because of the budget reconciliation process, they can overthrow all of that at the end of the day. And after that process, it goes to the president's desk and it's, yay, we have money. So much more people could qualify for this that were left out in the first and the second stimulus bill. They should work closely with Social Security, with the Social Security Department, but then, that's going to raise other questions of, security and sharing information that otherwise wouldn't have been shared with the Department of Treasury. And again, a whole different topic. They have to find a way to figure out. There's no updates on the $15 minimum wage by 2025. I wish I had more to report. A lot of people, they have information, but it's really just information that they are repeating. There's no updates. On a different and crazier note, the President of the United States, President Biden, said that he does not have the power to forgive $50,000 in student loan debt. Yes, the president said that. However, I'm sure many of you have seen it in the news, all over the news, splattered all over, that he said, I will not make it happen. But that's just a headline grabber, because he's not opposed per se to not forgiving student loans. It's just how much. And he's willing to do $10,000, just not the $50,000. Because if he does the $50,000, according to him, that will cost about $1 trillion. Everyone knows that $1 trillion is more than a half of the current stimulus bill that they're trying to pass, and they're having already so much pushbacks. On a more positive note, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have extended their mortgage forbearance from 12 months to 15 months. Now, if you do not know who your lender is, call up your brokers, call up your banks, find out if you do fall under these people. If you do not know who it is that you pay your mortgage to, call your banks, call up your lenders, call them and find out to see if you qualify. So here's my bonus tip, and thank you so much for waiting this far for it. If you're someone who truly isn't struggling, and some people are going to hate me for this tip, if you're truly not struggling to pay that mortgage, I still want you to take advantage of this 15-month forbearance. Here's what I want you to do. Don't just sit around and say, oh, I'm not going to pay my money for 15 months. If you do have the money, invest it. Invest it. And that's what we mean by making your money work for you. And then when that money bears interest, you can use the interest, depending on how risky of a stock or risky of an investment that you want to buy, you will use the interest to pay off these back monies that you've owed and still get to keep the money that you've invested initially. And that's what we mean by making your money work for you. So I hope you like that bonus tip. Again, if you did, please leave a comment and tell me what. I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about the things that I've said so far, because, you know, these are factors that is affecting all Americans. None of us are untouched. None of us are exempted. Literally. Later this week, they are going to announce a massive immigration bill. Because this video is strictly about the stimulus bill, I want to keep it that way. So look out for my next video. I'm definitely going to be making a video on that. With that being said, remember to send this video to someone you think would use this information. A lot of information is out there. I want you to get accurate information. And remember to tell me what kinds of videos you want to see me make. So we are relying on you to tell us what it is that you want. We're here to serve you. And remember, like, subscribe, yes, share, but if one door closes, tell me, what are you gonna do? I'm listening. Yeah, if one door closes, open it. Open it. It works. It's on hinges. It has a handle. Open the door.